Coming up this week on Unpicked.
Venom.
Mm-hmm.
I made a mistake.
As a man?
Do you know what it is?
As a man?
Do you know? I'm going to definitely, 100%. I don't trust you.
I had to shove the girl that I'd brought at the back at the...
Now, we both know that ain't the case. Even if that was true, you couldn't tell me. Because I would be on your neck. Are you dumb? Side eye, bombastic side eye.
Wagwan peeps, it's Venom, what you saying? Alongside my home slice, damn me to the zane. When she and I get together on the poddy, ask anybody, the vibes are insane.
Join our family and feel free to come by. We on Apple Podcast and Spotify.
Yeah.
New drop on the way every Monday at 6.
Tune in and come see what we unpick.
Hey, hello, hi peeps. Welcome to the Unpicked podcast show. You are here with your home slice, Dammy Zane. And I am here with my podcast bestie, Venom.
What's good, people?
Yeah, man.
I'm in the building.
That's it. Venom.
Mm-hmm.
I made a mistake. Someone sent me a tweet on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And then I went back on Twitter.
Oh, damn.
And I opened
the blue crack.
I clicked. No, I'm not on the crack. It was a one-hit wonder.
Okay.
I opened the link. I clicked the link. I opened the link. It showed me a video. You know what? I should have left it there. I should have just watched the video, gone back into the WhatsApp conversation and said what I wanted to say to the person that sent it to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did that, but then I went back onto Twitter and dropped a tweet with my opinion.
Oh, a response to this video.
Yeah, I replied, you know, and you put a little comment.
Put your 2 cents on there. Have you been cancelled now?
No, I haven't been cancelled, but I triggered some people. I triggered some guys. I triggered some men. And
damn it.
Yeah, and immediately when it was retweeted and I was getting replies, and I'm not saying it was getting like thousands of retweets, thousands of replies. It's in the hundreds.
Give it the scale.
Let me scale it. Yeah. Like I'm not that big on Twitter. Me and my small. I'm not even on 1,000 followers on there. Like, and I like it like that. And yeah, I got some replies and some guys were triggered. And I said to myself, this is why you stopped opening that demonic app.
Well, what's the content? What is the content? What was you sent?
Listen, we're gonna do the icebreaker, but this is the pre-game to the pre-game, okay? So basically, you know you've heard about Aloni, right?
Yeah.
Right. She's got
not her recent debacle. I know who she is.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know who she is. So
okay, cool.
You understand, right? So you understand she's her, I guess if I was gonna say her objective is to promote safe sexual liberation amongst women. She wants women to explore their bodies, understand their bodies, love themselves, you know, all that stuff. She has a podcast called the Laid Bare Podcast, which is where she started off as a blogger, but from doing that, did the podcast. In the podcast, they talk about sex a lot and they talk about relationships a lot. Shock horror.
Mm-hmm.
She clipped a part of her video, you know, like we do. Episodes coming out. This is a little bit of what we spoke about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, just to get you into the vibe. In the video, she was explaining a scenario from someone who had written to her, right? And basically the girl she's dating. She went on a date the week before, this particular date that she wanted advice on. She went on a date the week before. The guy came to her house, picked her up, dropped her home. The following week, she's, you know, they're arranging a date with another guy. And he's like, she sent us, like, she included a screenshot of the conversation between this girl and the guy. The guy asked her what time would work. She told him this time would work. Then she said to him, are you going to pick me up or are you going to send me an Uber? That's how she dropped it. He was like, well, you could walk, you could take the train, you can... In response. So Aloni was like, this girl asked him politely, and his response was a bit crazy. A man that can respond like that can kill. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously,
she got OTT.
I'm paraphrasing, but she did say those words, but
That's the essence. That's the essence of what she said. Yeah.
Whatever was in the video in like, cool. My response was this, yeah. I said, let me read it to you, because I just, let me read it, because people were really upset with what I said. So I said, there's nothing wrong with asking a man to pick you up or even expecting it. As a man wait, hold on.
As a man?
Do you know what it is?
As a man?
Do you know what it is? As I'm reading it now, and because of everything that was said, it's impacting the tone. But
you're perceiving your own.
But that's not how it was. That's not how it was originally meant to go. That's not how it's supposed to go. So let me go back and let me actually read it in the way that I wrote it, right? In terms of tonality.
Yeah, you say it and I'm not going to interrupt.
In terms of tonality, please, So I was like, there's nothing wrong with asking a man to pick you up or even expecting it, as a man doing so shows he cares for your safety to and from the date. The issue is the entitlement. There was definitely a nicer way to ask, to be honest. And then I put an example. Shall I meet you there, or did you want to meet me at mine? Right? Now, some people read it and liked it. They liked it. I got, quite a few people who liked it. The guys, however, they took the as a man bit and was like, see, this is the problem with girls. This is the problem with women. Why would you say as a man? Are you trying to say that a man is supposed to pick up? I said, Jesus Christ.
Semantics, man.
Thank you. Because all I'm saying is, even back in the day, like when I was living at my mum and dad's house, if I said I'm going on a date, my parents expected that the guy would be coming to pick me up, because you've asked her to come out, yeah. So the gentlemanly thing to do is to be like, okay, how are you, like, to care about how she's going to get there.
What's the arrangement of
care
travel?
about how she's going to get there and get back, right? And I hear it, some people are like, that's crazy. You want a guy to know where you live on the first date. I'm thinking, this is not a guy.
That's what I was thinking.
But hold on a minute, yeah? I mean, it depends on how you date. Someone like me, I would have been talking to you for some time before we go out on a first date. So we would have probably FaceTimed, would have been texting, would have been talking on the phone. And not to say that that's enough to know someone, but I would have got comfortable with you enough for me to be like, okay, here's my street. You might not know the door number, but you'll know the street.
I'm not letting nobody know. Like, do you know what? That's not my vibe.
I mean, I don't know, but I feel like there's got to be an element of trust. Like, if you don't trust, if you don't trust this person to sit across from them at dinner, what's the difference with them knowing where you live? This person has your number.
To me,
do you know what I mean?
To me, it's a massive difference.
The thing is, they don't know the door number. They don't know exactly where I live, but they might know the area. So you know in the area, I'm already out with you. Whatever you're gonna do to me, you can do it. You can date rape me. You can spike my drink. Do you know what I mean? So I
think that's extreme cases.
No,
that's a bit extreme.
It's also extreme to think because someone knows the road or the vicinity of where I live at, something's gonna happen to me. This is someone you've agreed. This is someone that you've agreed to go out with. Why?
It's not that something's gonna happen.
I think that you're techie,
some people are not well. Some people are just a bit strange. Some people are not as cool as you think. And have to know that those people now know where you live. Because if the guy's picking you up, you don't necessarily know where he lives.
No,
but he knows. Oh, you live on blah 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 street.
Yeah.
So now let's say, for example, you go on the date. Things are going a bit left and it's like, whatever, but he's really interested, you're not, and it's clear. Now that same person still knows your road, and if they're weird and they like to kind of stalk and they don't really want to let go, they're not really trying to take the no, they still know what road you're on, and they can still be weird.
Yeah, but that can happen irrespective of whether they know what road you live on. Let's say I decide to come by Uber. Yeah, and like I said, the date starts moving a bit where I'm about to leave the restaurant. This guy snatches me up outside. It can happen.
No, but that's an extreme is what I'm saying.
An extreme is also your example in that, So he knows where you live now. So if things go left, he might decide to do something crazy. It's still extreme.
No, I'm saying he might just stalk you. But
stalking,
hanging about.
No, but stalking is extreme, Venom. Stalking is just as extreme as someone snatching you or putting a drug in your drink, or do you know what I mean? All of it is extreme. But if the thing, I don't know, for me, I don't know, maybe I'm too trusting, but I know I can trust my own judge of character. Normally, if I'm going to go out on a dinner date, this was a 9 p.m. dinner date. Yeah, so just for context, it's at 9 p.m. at this restaurant.
It's in the night.
It's in the night. The thing is, I probably wouldn't ask anyway. I don't ask because I drive. So I can take myself to and from the location. Like, I'm okay. But I won't lie. If the guy offers that, oh, do you want me to pick you up? I think that's sexy. I think that means, oh, he's thinking like someone who wants to make sure that I get to the place and get back okay. Obviously, if I get there and he moves mad, if he picks me up and he moves mad when I get there, it's going to be listen, my girls know about it, my mum knows about it, my boys know about it, they know where I'm at, they know the car registration of the vehicle. If anything's moving crazy, they're going to catch that guy. Do you see what I'm saying? And I won't necessarily go home with him either because I know that it's already awkward. So why would I sit in the car and be uncomfortable when I can just get someone... I think
if that premise is there, then it becomes more awkward.
Up. Yeah, or get someone to pick me up. Like one of my boys will probably come and get me, or one of my girls will probably come and get me if I didn't bring my car because you picked me up, or... Dad, this is the situation. Do you know what I mean? So I think I hear it, but no, the guys on Twitter were very, very, very triggered by the "as a man doing so," that phrase, and it just made me think. It's so funny how someone might not even be trying to say that, but because you're so triggered by what people have said in the past, you read it and automatically that's what you hear. The whole point of my tweet was, listen, you can expect or want what you want. That's fine. If you're going to ask respectfully. There's a nice way to ask. I'm not like, there's nothing wrong with asking. There's nothing wrong with even expecting it, because actually in the traditional sense and the way that people used to date back in the day, that was the expectation. A guy is coming to take my daughter out. He's going to come to my house and pick her up. Period. That's it. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with having the expectation, right? But don't be entitled because he doesn't have to do it. You can expect it, but they don't have to do it. And because...
You can ask. Just allow no to be a possible answer.
Thank you. Don't be like, oh, is it you're going to pick me up or you're going to call me an Uber? There was no...
And I was like, me call you an Uber? Wow. Do you know what? To be fair, I mean, the dating scene now, and I was about to throw you in it, you know. I was about to say, you lot in this dating scene.
No, you can throw me in it, because I am in it. But I'm not tapped. I get it. I know that there's a lot of women out there online that have like pushed this as a man. Why are you not? As a man, why are you crying when you watch a movie? As a man, why are you wearing a handbag?
That's me, by the way.
As a man, why are you... I understand. I understand how hearing that phrase can trigger you, but like at least try and comprehend the rest of the sentence.
I don't know about like, trigger.
I don't know. I was so blown by some of the responses of these guys. I was so blown. I get
But
then
the
they're
argument. On Twitter, innit? They're on Twitter.
I get the argument we had that. Why would you want someone to know where you live? I get that one. I could be like, you know what?
I thought that's what it was going to be, not like...
There was a few girls that were saying that. And do you know what? Yeah, actually, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but that's because I think I've got a good... And I've never ever had someone stalk me or come and meet me outside my door. And by the grace of God, it will never happen. And maybe because I've never had that situation, maybe I haven't considered in its entirety how it's not safe, because I don't live at my parents' house anymore. I don't have daddy at home. So if you tried it, daddy will come out and be like, excuse me, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
I don't have that because I don't live at home anymore. So maybe I should be. Yeah, maybe I should be thinking, damn, you don't have that safety net. So don't let people come and pick you up. That argument, I can accept that one. That one makes sense. But the as a man thing, come on, bro. Like the conversation is about a guy picking a girl up.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
It's just not the way to go. My only comment to do with the actual girl that sent in the story is that was definitely like super.
I think she was rude.
In my opinion, rude.
She was very rude
and entitled.
She was very rude
because it's a double. Because first of all, you can't say no in how she's asked. She's giving you an either or where both are in my favor, as in her favor. And it's also because one is assuming she hasn't achieved that level of independence herself where she has the means to travel to the venue.
I don't think that.
She essentially doesn't have a car, and she's saying...
I think it's just entitlement. Because I know there's women out there that have a car and still expect, because you're taking me on a date, you gotta...
It's different to say, yeah, you're gonna pick me up, but like, so you're picking me up or Uber. What? In my life, I've never had that scenario.
But the reason is because, again, it's entitlement. It's, he has to provide for me. He has to spend money on me. So it's either you're going to pick me up or you're going to get me an Uber.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know.
I think you're right, but I think it's he has to spend money on me.
But that's what it is. There's girls that... A lot of... I don't even want to say a lot. I can't quantify how many, but there is a mindset at the moment, and it's been there for some time, of this concept of a man provides, but and I do agree that a man should provide, but I'm more of he should provide in the right confinements of a certain type of in a certain type of relationship. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to provide for you when he has there is no real commitment between you.
There's no loyalty.
There's no loyalty. So
he has to establish a relationship.
He doesn't need to do anything. But let me just set that aside. There is a mindset in the dating scene at the moment that of a warped translation of a man should provide. And the translation that they sit on, or what they believe is, a man should provide means that he should literally buy me whatever I want, pay for my stuff, take me here and there, literally. And they're looking for princess treatment. Not everyone is a princess. Not everyone carries themselves in such a way that even affords for the man to do that. You can't be screaming up and down, independent woman, I can do everything by myself, get the bag, city girl, hot girl summer life, and still expect a man to do that. And actually, a man provides, really and truthfully. That mindset back in the day was strictly set for people that are courting. And even if you're courting, it was techie. It's mainly for marriage. And
it's family. A man provides for his family.
It's for marriage.
Yeah, it's only for his family.
So no, but I'm talking about relationship, not talking about family. I'm not talking
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about kids. Hold on, let me hear me out.
Relationship is the family.
Yeah, it's a type of family. But what I'm trying to say, in the context of dating, a man doesn't have to provide for you whilst you are dating, whilst you're in a relationship. He doesn't have to do any of that. The same way that the woman doesn't have to cook and clean and be a maid in his house. I don't know. Traditionally speaking, that happens in marriage. That's the only type of relationship.
To me, that's where the family starts.
Well, yeah, I hear that, but I'm just saying, like, I just want to make it expressly clear. I don't want because family means different things to different people. That's why I'm saying I'm making it clear. Marriage, right? When you are dating, a man can show you his capabilities, but doesn't mean that he does that via doing it all for you. He can show you his capabilities through little things like, I don't know, when you do go on a date, when he does take you on a date, he decides to pay this time. That shouldn't be a thing of now he has to pay every single time. But he's showing you he has the capacity, and he has that mindset of, yeah, I will provide. He can show you it without doing it. But in the world we live in today, and the dating scene today, some women think a man should provide literally means he pays for my nails, he pays for my hair, he takes me wherever I want to, he Ubers food to my house whenever I say I'm hungry. If we go shopping, he pays for everything. When we go out to eat, he pays for everything. Like, literally, it's that. And as they're having that mindset, they still don't want to know how to cook and clean and this and that, because that's what it comes with. There was some guys who don't know me, so I didn't feel offended with that response. But there was some guys saying exactly that. You're expecting a guy to pick you up, but some women don't know how to be traditional. And I didn't bother to reply because I don't need to defend myself. But I understand that if you want a man to be traditional, then you have to be traditional yourself.
Also do the same. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't need to explain myself to them. I don't know them and they don't know me and I don't care. But I agree with them though, that you can't be expecting things that you're not willing to do for yourself. And I think in the dating scene now, not just women, men do this too. Men that expect their women to cook, clean, etc., who are not even willing to pick you up. Or do you know what I mean? Like they want you to do 50-50. They want to have their cake and eat it. And women are doing the same thing. And, everyone's just hurt and upset and trying to fight their own corner and they're not thinking properly, but is what it is. I just find it so funny that he was that those guys were triggered in that way. But as a man, it shows.
As a man, it's probably a triggering sentence on Twitter. Like, I reckon people just search as a man and then just reply to stuff that comes up. Like, probably, because I can see that.
Why would you want to do that? Surely that's just going to cause you more heartache. If you're already triggered by it, why are you seeking it
but
out?
a lot of people when you're in a negative space, you usually gravitate towards more negativity, and when you're in a positive space, you gravitate towards more positivity. It's kind of the gift and the curse of not being just like in the middle, if you know what I mean. Well, there's no problem with gravitating towards more positive stuff, but if you sway to the negative side, then it usually keeps reoccurring, if you know what I mean. But I did listen to, I think he was a pastor, I'm not sure. It was a clip, these shorts and reels and vines, you never know what you're watching, but he was saying that the problem, he was talking specifically to marriage, but this applies to relationships anyway. And the problem is that, he was talking about marriage. He was saying that people said there's a problem with marriage now, and that's why people are having divorces and breaking up and blah, blah, blah. So, but marriage is fine. Marriage is the same as it's always been. The problem is with people. And that the problem is that people no longer want to serve. No one's focused on serving their partner. And I think it's quite apt that you showed me that tweet, because I'm seeing that this woman is demanding to be served without displaying anything about how she's serving. Whereas if she was serving, she would be served.
And do you know what I said to
everybody wants to, gratify that in their partner.
Everyone's thinking about themselves. That's what it is. Everyone is thinking about themselves. Everyone. Dating is a selfless thing. It's self-serving, but it's a selfless thing as well. If you're dating with intention to be with this person, it has to be selfless. It's got to be, in my opinion...
Well, it has to be service first. You serve first.
In my opinion, if you're dating to be with this person, a big chunk of your dating experience should be about serving that other person, getting to know the other person, figuring out their wants, needs, likes, dislikes, fears, motivations, all of that. And then, being... how can I make this how can I do my bit in this dating experience to make it enjoyable for the both of us? And in order to do that, means you have to serve the other person and vice versa.
100%.
But that's not how people date now. And remember, people don't all date with the same motive as well. So some people are actually dating just for themselves. They're dating because they want to be sexually gratified.
I think there's a lot of that. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
And because they want to be sexually gratified, for example, or some women are dating so that, I'm sure you've heard that phrase, a girl's got to eat. Like some girls are dating because they literally want to be taken out on dates and be taken to eat here, there, and they
do bits on the gram.
And he flew me to here, and like he bought me this, and he did that. There's some girls that are dating for that. They're not necessarily dating for a future with this person. And there's guys, there's guys that are dating for sex, right? And so it's all self-servant. It's all for, and when you're mixing those type of daters with people that actually want to date intentionally, it creates this. And then what happens is the person that's dating, I believe the person that's dating intentionally, they might get hurt to the point where they're like, F it. And then they go and start moving mad, and then it's just,
they go demon mode.
Thank you. It's just, I just think that's what it is. The dating thing is a phenomenon.
It is.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this. I want to get out. I'm tired.
Yeah, do you know?
I want to meet someone who's got the mindset, who understands what it is to be in a intentional relationship where we both strive to make the relationship better for the both of us. That's what I want. And it's so hard to find. And I was saying to my friend the other day, yeah, because no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna save it for later. We should do game time.
Yeah, all right. Let's do game time. We are about to start game time, which is our icebreaker for this season. The game where one co-host asks some questions with multiple choice answers, and the other co-host has to guess the correct answer. Pretty simple. Dami's in the lead, just about, using God and Juju, but logic and talent and education will prevail. So I'm going to be asking Dami the questions this week. 5 questions for her to gain 5 points. Dami, are you ready?
I'm ready. But how are we doing the icebreaker this so far into the episode?
I know. We're doing bits. We're doing bits. But we'll get to the main topic.
This is not icebreaker. This is just a game at this point.
It's true, but it's a game.
It's an intermission. It's an intermission.
You know, we're just doing, a little bit of comedic. Oh man, I forgot the expression. Doesn't matter.
It's okay. Let's keep it pushing. I'm ready. Let's go.
Question number 1. Which black men recently went viral for watching butt cheeks post-interview? Is it A, Drake and Lil Yachty? Is it B, Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock? Or is it C, Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors?
This is a very good question. It's a very good question. For doing what? What do they do?
Watching butt cheeks post-interview. So like someone interviewed them.
Yeah.
And then as they left, they both watched the butt cheeks.
Oh.
And then it's gone viral.
Okay. I'm going to go with C.
Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you.
Have you not seen the clip?
No.
Damn. Them mans broke their necks.
Is it?
Watching this. I don't even know what the girl looks like.
Booty in?
Don't even know what she looks like. Because the whole clip, every viral clip of the clip is them. You just see their eyes, both immediately. She gets up, like they're doing the press run for the film.
Yeah.
She gets up out the seat because you know how the press just come into the seat, all the different people.
Yeah.
So she gets up to go off, and literally Michael B. Jordan's like this, and Jonathan Majors is like this.
I mean, I would have been like this too. If the booty's booty, if the cheeks are chicken, I'd be like...
Immediately, I was like, I need to see these cheeks. What's going on over there?
If the cheeks are chicken, I'd be like...
They must have been. Because when I tell you both of them, immediately.
Question 2.
Immediately.
Question 2.
Question 2. According to the blogs, Tiger and which unsuspecting woman have officially started dating? Is it A, Cher? Is it B, Avril Lavigne? Or is it C, Dua Lipa?
Avril Lavigne?
It's the correct answer.
Thank you.
You seen that one?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Because the had me for a second. Your actor's getting better. Okay. Now, question 3. How many albums has Jay-Z released to date? 2023. Yeah.
Okay.
Solo albums.
Okay.
Is it, she already knows. Is it A, 7? Is it B, 10? Or is it C, 13?
I think it's 13.
It's the correct answer.
Yeah.
She already knew that one. Damn it. Had to go for an obvious one. Right. Which celebrity recently ended her OnlyFans? Is it A?
Okay, go on. I already know.
I thought you would. I hate her, but you like her. Yeah, there you go. It's Black China. Yes, you got the answer.
I couldn't even let you do the thing. I said, let me not waste time.
What was that? It felt like you was going to say something more to it.
Nah, there's nothing else to say. Let's just...
I know. I know. Alright, last question. For all 5 points.
Stop doing that, because that's how you throw me off. Just say the question.
No pressure at all, Dami. At all. It's just all 5 points, and I don't think we've had a clean sheet yet.
You say the question.
So, when is International Men's Day?
Flip. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to get.
We just had International Women's Day.
I have to remind myself of when people tell me when International Women's Day is. I don't pay attention. But okay, let's go off. Let's see.
Yeah, so we got International Men's Day. Is it A, July the 19th? Is it B, September the 19th? Or is it C, November the 19th?
The thing is, yeah, you mean International Men's Day, not International Blowjob Day?
No, I mean Men's Day, yeah. She's like, I know that one.
BJ and steak. International BJ and steak. I'm gonna go on a whim. So you're saying July, September, or November?
I am indeed. Yeah, we got an answer.
I'm stuck between September and November.
For 5 points, what's it gonna be?
I'm stuck between September and November.
For 5 points, it's gonna be.
I've never had an all 5 streak.
I know. It's today the date.
I don't think it is, but I'm gonna say September.
It's not the correct answer.
Yeah, November?
It's November.
Oh, that's so irritating because I was like September and November. So annoying.
So close, but yet so far, yet again.
That's what you was putting pressure. You're like, you was putting pressure, boy.
I was rooting for you.
It wasn't. You always do that. When I'm getting I've clocked because like when I'm rewatching footage back to edit, yeah, I've clocked every time you say that line. Oh, is she gonna? I always get the question after that. I get it wrong.
It's always a mad one.
Look who's doing juju, because someone's going to be accusing me, a child of God. He's accusing me of juju.
Listen.
That's his trigger line. That's the line he uses to...
to block all of her juju. Yeah, that's my block.
No, I don't use juju, but that's his abracadabra. You know how magicians say abracadabra?
Is it abracadabra?
Then we'll be like, no. Is she going to get 5 for 5? Is she going to get the clean slate? Is she going to... That's how it does. That's how he does it.
Abracadabra.
That's the real person did juju. Yeah. Remember, he's the one that's into spirit chanting ancestors. So that's the line he uses.
Yeah, man.
See? I said Jesus. He says spirituality.
I say all the spirit and the Orisha.
Like Orisha, like Beyonce. See that? Like Beyonce. So who's the real?
Abracadabra.
Mad. Anyway, I'm still in the lead. 4 out of 5. I'm gonna take it.
4 out of 5. Ain't nothing to be scoffed.
Do you know what I'm gonna start? I know what I'm gonna pray against. I'm gonna pray and fast against that line, because that phrase every time you say it, and my spirit is telling me, like, I feel like there's something in that line that throws me off. So you're laughing, but anything's possible with anyone. And the moment you're talking about Orishas, that doesn't sit well with me and my Jesus. So I'm going to pray about that. And I'm going to definitely 100%. I don't trust you. Because I've every time. He says it every episode. Go back and those of you that have been watching, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Like every time he says it, next thing you know, I'm getting the answer wrong. All of a sudden, my intuition doesn't know how to work.
It's the pressure. It's getting worse. It's not the pressure.
There's something in that phrase, and you say it at the right.
You think there's magic in there?
Yeah, I don't trust you. You said Orishas, right? I don't trust you. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pray about that. Jesus, we're gonna have a conversation later. I don't trust this guy.
I said, yeah, we got this.
Anyway.
Have you got tea this week?
I absolutely do not. I absolutely do not.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Since our last episode, I've basically been asleep. That's all I've accomplished.
What's going on? What's going on?
Man has been sleeping. Things I can't say on the big bad internet, but man's been sleeping. Yeah. And then now, yeah.
It's Bay. It's Bay back. Is Bay back from holiday?
Bay is back.
Okay,
Bay came back last night.
Say no more.
So Bay came back last night, and and she was awake when I got back. I was DJing as well. She was in and awake when I got back, and I was like, "Oh, I think he's coming back tomorrow."
She said, "Surprise!"
So, nice. Yeah, she said, "Surprise!" I was like, I had to shove the girl that I'd brought at the back at the.
Now we both know that ain't the case. I was like, oh. Do you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny? You could never, even if that was true, you couldn't tell me because I would be on your neck. Are you dumb? Can't do that to wifey, you know. I'm on her side.
Of course not.
Yeah, I would be on your neck. Oh my days. I'm not the bestie you can tell that kind of stuff to, you know. Because I would be. To
be fair, people who go around like actually talking that nonsense are mad.
Nah. You know, some guys will tell their guys, some girls will tell their girls.
They'll be like, yeah, man.
I'm saying specifically for you, you couldn't come and tell me that. And I would be on your case. Podcast would be on the line. I can't be, nah, man. Nah.
Damn.
Sorry. I'm your bestie.
I had stories.
I'm your bestie, but I'm not your bestie like that.
Not like that. No, you can't do... You know what? There's always moments where you think you know someone and then they tell you that like compromising information. You're just like, I don't know if we're friends, you know?
It's like, I thought I knew you.
I don't get down like that.
Wow. I saw something really funny the other day. Again, came through on the WhatsApp chat from a friend.
Oh, yeah?
It was a situation, and I thought, I'm going to ask Venom about this, because this, okay? So basically, the situation is this, yeah. This guy and this girl have been seeing each other for 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's chilling at his house.
Mm-hmm.
He gets up, he goes to the bathroom. She hears him having a session. And she can hear porn as well in the background. She gets upset and she abruptly leaves. And then she ghosts him. So there's another podcast. I didn't quite catch the name of the podcast. If I find it, I'll drop it in the description. And they have a segment where people call in to say, oh, I've been ghosted by someone. And then they give the co-host the person's number and then they call that person. So the guy calls up and goes, I've been ghosted by this girl that I've been seeing. She was with me last week. She's not spoken to me since. She left abruptly. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. They call her and then she's like, who are you? They explain the whole situation, get her consent. She's like, cool, I'm happy to stay on the line. And then they're like, you've been talking to this guy. You've been dating this guy and you ghosted him. And she's like, because he cheated on me.
Oh.
So he's still on the line, innit? So he's like, I didn't cheat on you. What are you talking about? And then she explains that I heard you having a session in the bathroom with, I don't know who was on, I don't know what porn you was watching, but it sounded like 2 other girls. So to me, you was cheating. And then he turns around and goes, you're not the most sexual person. She goes, what do you mean we have sex all the time? He goes, the last time we had sex was Valentine's Day. We're now in March. So she's like, well, you should have self-control. I can't be with someone that doesn't have self-control. It's done. And I thought, I want to ask Venom. I was going to send it to you. I thought, let me reserve it for like. Do you think he was cheating? 1. Do you think he was weird? 2. Do you think she was, and 3? Yeah, 1. Yeah. 1, do you think it was cheating? 2, do you think he was weird? 3, do you think that her reaction was a bit OTT?
Okay. Weird, cheating, reaction. I'll start with reaction. Was her reaction OTT? They were at his house, right? And she left his house. Cool.
Yeah.
So, for her, okay. I'm going to have to take it in a different order. Cheating.
Yeah.
Do I think he was cheating? No. Do I think she overreacted? Yes, with a caveat. And then, was he weird? Yes.
Okay.
Because if he had, like, I think I've spoken about, like, sometimes you get a rush or whatever. You know when it's coming, though. If you know, like, oh, yeah, my partner is not that sexual, but this is the person that I want to be with and whatnot, then you can do that ahead of time. I'm guessing there must have been a time where she wasn't there, that you could have just got that out and then she came round. So I wouldn't wait until a girl was in my presence to then leave to go knock one out. That's mad weird. Especially because what if now she then wants to get involved and then, you know what I mean? Like there's other things going on and like there's levels to that, but that's weird. It's I wouldn't say it's cheating, but it's definitely weird. And her reaction to just ghost him rather than to just say, like, what the hell was that about? And then have the conversation, to which she can then not agree and then decide, yeah, like, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
But to just ghost him, I find ghosting really immature. I think it's a way of not dealing with your issues with someone and just skip into the result that you want without dealing with your issues. If you're in the middle of a conversation and then you've had enough of that conversation and you stop, that's fair. But they didn't even have that conversation. She saw something that she didn't like, then she just disappeared. So I think, yeah, I don't think he was in the right, but I think she put herself in the wrong.
Okay.
What was your thoughts about it?
I just think they're not sexually compatible.
Yeah.
Period.
But sometimes sexual compatibility is not the be all and end all to a relationship.
It's not, but it matters. I think it matters. I think especially if you've got one person that cares about sex a lot more than the other person, then it can become the be all and end all of your relationship. Because one person will always be unsatisfied. So I think, grand scheme of things, it was good that it was locked off, because later on it's going to cause problems. He's obviously someone that has a strong desire or high libido, or like he enjoys sex. He loves sex. Let's put it that way. Yeah. She is someone who, I mean, you're seeing someone you had sex with them a month before, and to you, that's you having sex loads of times. To some people, that's scarce, and you're only 3 months into your dating. It's not like you've been together for ages and it's getting boring now. And life, you've got kids and you got this and you got that, and so now you just naturally don't have sex as much. This is the start of your relationship, and you've had sex a month before, and to you, that's a lot. Fair enough. To her, like, that's how she feels. To him, that's not enough. So they're not sexually compatible, and that will cause a problem in their relationship. And it's good that it did it as it did now, right? But to answer the questions, I asked you, was it weird? Yes. And bear in mind, I'm answering these questions trying to put myself in this scenario.
Yeah.
If I was seeing someone and I went to his house, we were chilling, and he got up, went to the bathroom, and all of a sudden I can just hear something going on. And he's making sounds and he's doing, I don't need to paint the scene any more than that.
He said he's making sounds.
I don't know if that's the sounds you be making, but anyway.
You said he was making sounds. That's why.
Yeah, but he could be groaning. He could when they like that. You never know. Just hear something, and all of that stuff. I think when he comes out, I won't leave. No way. It's when he comes out, I'll be like, so what was you doing in there? Yeah, I'll make a joke out of it or whatever. Hopefully he's not sensitive like that, and he'll be like, oh yeah, basically it's the situation. Especially if I know that I'm not willing to have sex with him. So I'll just be like, you couldn't wait till I'd gone at least, or what? As a joke. But I wouldn't abruptly leave. Ghosting, you're right, it's wrong, it's immature, it's a cop-out. So I don't agree with that. You should be able to say, like, I don't think we're right for each other, or I don't want to engage in this anymore because XYZ. Cool. What was it? Weird. Cheating.
Her reaction.
Cheating. Absolutely not. Because he was pleasuring himself with inspiration from porn, which is public. He wasn't seeking self pleasure. He wasn't getting inspiration by someone that was physically with him. He was getting it from something that is online, that anyone can have access to and see, and that people use it for that. That's what porn is there for. So He was using it for what it's there for. And yeah, he was self-pleasuring himself. It's not like he had other girls in the bathroom and he was doing it in the bathroom with these other girls whilst you're in the other room. Do you know what I mean? And that is cheating.
Yeah, he wasn't interacting with anybody else.
He wasn't interacting with anyone else.
Himself.
Yeah, he was by himself.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I think, you know what? They just weren't sexually compatible. And
which I want to pick you up on.
And for me, sexual compatibility is extremely important to me. It's extremely important to me. If I'm talking like long-term relationship, listen, we need to have similar or compatible sexual libido and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. Like I think for me anyway, it's going to be a problem.
A few weeks ago, we were having a conversation about an excerpt from a different podcast. I can't remember which one it is. You'll remember the podcast, but it was about this tall king with a short third leg and this girl that was dating him and all of that. And you were advocating
get a toy.
That she, yeah. So why is it not that they should be together and he should continue removing his excess sexual...
So with that, she was saying...
Because he weren't complaining about her sex.
With that scenario, I was saying that she said the guy is perfect in every way. The only thing is that he has a small dick. You can still... He can still satisfy her, though, in other ways that he wasn't willing to do. And I was saying, well, then, in that case, get a toy. Because then he can still satisfy you with the toy, or you can use his fingers, he can use his mouth. So she can still be fulfilled. He might still have a high sex drive, same high libido and everything. So it's not like they're not having sex at all. It's just the type of sex will need to be adjusted. In this scenario, the girl is very happy to have sex once a month by the sounds of it. To her, she's reached her capacity on how frequently they're having sex. To him, that's not enough, clearly, because he's frustrated sexually. So this is why I'm saying sexual compatibility matters. Your tools is not what I'm talking about when I talk about sexual compatibility.
No, I know, but he wasn't saying, "Oh, I want to break up with her." He was still very much interested in her, and he was already doing the but I'll take care of my excess.
And that's fine. But what I'm saying is, in the long run, it would have still it would have. This is what would have been the result in the end, whether it be that she leaves because he is knocking one out in the bathroom, or it might be that she starts to feel like he has no self-control. He's always trying it with me, but I've already told him that I've reached my capacity on how many times I want to have sex with him. Or the worst case scenario, he goes and cheats. It would have ended anyway, because in this scenario, when it comes to sexual compatibility in terms of like libido and stuff like that, they just don't match. With the other situation, it was more, he's perfect in every way. It's just that he has a small dick. His tools doesn't just meet up to what I need. That doesn't mean that you're not
It just doesn't reach the measurement.
It just means that, you don't fill her out.
Wow.
To me, that doesn't mean that you're not sexually compatible, because there's other things that you might be willing to try and you might still be able to satisfy her sexually.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do think sexual compatibility is important. It's tough because, again, as a child of God, I shouldn't even be advocating for people to be having sex before marriage because it's a sin. I'm very aware of that. But I do think that as someone that cares about sex, I think that I personally would prefer to be with someone in the long term, with someone that is sexually compatible with me. Otherwise, it might be a bit hard.
That was going to be my next question. Is do you still think it's necessary to explore sexual compatibility before long-term relationship?
No, I don't. I don't know. I'm in a very weird space at the moment. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that what happens if you commit to someone and then you're not sexually compatible. Then what, do you end the marriage because? I don't know. I think we would have to come to a compromise on something.
I mean, that's what marriage and relationship is about. It's about compromising.
But I'll just be unhappy.
Ultimately unhappy, or just sexually unfulfilled?
Eventually, I'll be unhappy. I mean, I guess I could just go to the
The basis of your happiness is sex. The basis of your ultimate happiness of your being is sex.
But okay. Let me explain. Because
it can be.
Let me explain.
Let me explain.
It's not a trick. Yeah. Let me explain. For me, right? Mm-hmm. For me, I don't engage in casual sexual relationships. I don't have sex for the sake of it. I don't believe in having a sex buddy, in having a companion who you just have sex with and that's it. I believe that if I'm gonna be in any form of relationship with a man, it's an intentional one. We're working towards something long term, an actual commitment, a committed relationship, marriage, point blank period. So for me, I can go I've been single for like a year. I've not had sex. And that's okay for me because I'm not with anyone and I don't see the point. That's just how it is. With that in mind, that means that when I do have my person, I don't want restrictions because I've already restricted myself, if that makes sense. And the whole thing around not believing in casual relationships or casual sexual relationships and stuff, it's not that I don't want to. I've met guys that I'm like, I'm intrigued. Yeah, I would. But my morals, my values, my faith, I stand by that more than what my body is saying that it wants. So I have self-control. And if I've controlled myself and restricted myself this much, I have to enjoy when I get what I want. Do you understand me? When I get to the marriage bit, I have to enjoy because I restricted myself. So that speaks to faith. That's why I'm saying
that speaks to faith.
But that's why I'm saying that I personally, for me, sexual compatibility matters because I waited and I don't want to wait. And then I get into it and it's like, okay, so what does that mean? I never enjoy something that was created for us to enjoy.
To faith.
Do you understand me? So it's like,
listen, this has always been my, I guess, gripe with religion, because I can't make it specific to Catholicism or Christianity because it's not that. It's more so my gripe with religion. It's when we get to these sections, I'm like, okay, but faith would have it that you'll believe that whatever is meant for you is what you receive, so long as you have prayed. So if you don't enjoy shy, you was never meant to enjoy it. That's what you was meant to have.
No, I believe that.
So you can't let that be a determining factor.
Nah, I do believe that God knows the desires of your heart and he wouldn't put a desire there if it wasn't supposed to be yours.
Of course. But also he wouldn't give you this man who's perfect and who fulfills you in terms of is aligned with your spirituality.
Exactly.
And
so I do have faith.
No,
but I do have faith that when I do marry, me and my husband we're going to be all the time. Podcast might have to end because I ain't got time to be doing recordings. Because why? Just saying.
Coming on the camera like, right, you're glowing, yeah, I know.
Girl, you're glowing more than normal, yeah, I know. Let me back it up there because I've got somewhere to be.
I've only got like 10 minutes.
Literally, I've got 10 minutes. Hi, everyone. It's your home slice. Okay, see you next week. I'm out.
Here's the tea. Bye.
That's if I got time to give you the tea. Hello. Yeah, so I like having these standards for myself, but it can be a big burden in today's dating world because I've met some really nice guys, and just because they don't want an intentional relationship or just because they don't want a commitment doesn't mean that they're less of a man or they're not nice guys.
Yeah.
They are still really nice guys. They just don't, that's not what they want for themselves. And I've had to be like, so annoying.
This is what I want for myself.
You almost was the guy. But I got to let you go because that's not what I want for myself.
100% as well.
And sometimes I've had to be like, sometimes I'll message my girls, like there's certain girls, you know who you are. I'll be like, oh my God, I think I'm just going to move mad. I don't care. They'll be like, all right, Dami, sure.
Yeah.
And then a little bit later, I'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, we both know I'm not going to do this. It's not me, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that should have been married time ago so I could be getting it in, but that's not what happened, so it's all right. I just have to keep waiting. It's fine.
It's interesting, man, because guys definitely, they like ripen, I'd say. Because you're just chilling and then you're just ready, if you know what I mean. And now, but no, I don't think a woman can convince you per se, like, to be
ready to commit?
The man?
No.
Like,
no.
Not to marriage level. Yeah.
No,
you be someone's girlfriend. Boyfriend. Sorry.
Even girlfriend. If he doesn't want it himself, he won't. And I'm not in the business of trying to persuade someone. I want you to want it because you want it. Yeah,
exactly. Because you're like,
because then we'll both get to enjoy it. I don't want you to resent me one day because I pushed you into a place that you weren't ready to go. Yeah, I made you. So you know, last week I said that I had a partner who wanted kids, but he didn't care for marriage. And you know, when we did go our separate ways, he said, oh, I would have married, like I could see you being my wife. He said it. He goes, it's just for you, it's more sooner. For me, it's not something like I can go with or without. And I was like, but that's the problem. For me, I don't want to, I'm taking the risk staying with you for much longer, knowing that there's a chance that you might turn around and say, actually, I don't want it at all. And if you do it, you're doing it for me, not because you actually want to. And there's a maturity in being able to identify that and having to walk away. That relationship,
yeah, for sure.
That relationship was one of the hardest relationships for me to. It was the hardest relationship for me to get over because I genuinely cared for this man, genuinely loved this man, you know, and genuinely thought if we did make it and get married and stuff, okay, it wouldn't be 100% rosy. It never is, but I would be willing to work with him to do whatever needs to be done. So, but coming to the realization that he wasn't ready and I was, and fundamentally that was causing a rift between us. That was damaging my self-esteem because then what happens to some people when they are facing that scenario where they're ready but their partner isn't, is they start trying to prove themselves. And I believe that when you start trying to prove yourself to your partner, the relationship becomes toxic.
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Yeah,
at that point, it's done.
Yeah, it's done. So I fell into, I'm trying to prove to you that I'm the woman, that I'm the one that's going to make you want this, that this is what you want. And that was damaging for us. And then that put pressure on him. So, you know, and that relationship was the hardest relationship to walk away from was that relationship. But that taught me all the more that no, you do want this is what you want. You're entitled to want what you want. You shouldn't have to change yourself to meet the specifications of somebody else. You shouldn't have to prove yourself either. You shouldn't have to prove that what you want is valid and that is for the betterment of both of you. And on top of that, just because they don't want it doesn't mean that they're a horrible person. That's why you don't hear me talk badly about this particular ex. You don't hear me say anything bad about them because he is still a wonderful person, still a upstanding, great guy. He just doesn't want what I want. We're not on the same page. So it is what it is. Good luck to you. And that's okay.
That's an interesting one.
It's a hard one.
I think it's probably because you was in the relationship long term. Because I had a similar scenario, but the relationship wasn't like long term. It was established, but it wasn't. It hadn't even gone like. I don't know. It wasn't a year. It for sure wasn't a year. Yeah. It was like in the months range. And then, I
think having gone through that situation, I can walk away from anything that doesn't fit now. and I'll feel no way.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, for me to be able to walk away from that, I can walk away from, not saying that walking away is a good thing. It's not always a good thing. Sometimes people walk away because they've built a wall and they're self-sabotaging. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being able to discern that this isn't gonna end well. And if the longer I stay, the more I'm hurting myself. Yeah. So if I identify very early on, from the moment I identify that we're not on the same page, we don't want the same things, I walk away, because I know that I'm not going to change what I want just because this guy is nice, and I'm going to, and this is another thing that some people do. I was going to say women, but people do this. They can see, and I spoke about this last week about choices. I just said it in a harsher way. Like, you can see something, but you lie to yourself, and then you stay, and then when the inevitable happens, then you start feeling like the other person is wicked and bad. But that's not the case. Because especially if you've had these conversations at the start, you lie to yourself that, you know what, it's fine, I can wait. I can stay here, it's fine. However long it takes. But the longer it's taking, the more you're trying to prove yourself, the more toxic the relationships becoming. And then you break up, then you're like, but why did they do this to me? No, you did it to yourself because you knew that you weren't on the same page, but you stayed anyway. So yeah, that relationship taught me a lot.
What point do you think is a good point to have those conversations? I mean, you're saying like having those conversations.
It should happen organically, to be honest. And sometimes, I mean, you can tell from how, I think guys are more obvious than people like to believe. Like, I know women, I feel women are very difficult to crack because we're led by emotions quite a bit, and, you know, I don't think our behavior is consistent enough for anyone to be able to decipher where they're at and what they want and all that business. But I think if a man is intentional about you, I think it's obvious. If a man isn't sure, it's obvious. If a man doesn't want you, it's obvious.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the issue though is that sex muddies the waters. That's what it is.
It can. Yeah, it can.
I think sex. I think as I'm talking as a woman, yeah. If I'm having sex with a guy, I can start to see the intimacy as a sign that he wants me, but that's not necessarily the case.
Okay.
So like, how do I? Okay, so like, just to simplify it, a guy having a certain type of sex with you doesn't determine
how much he was into the relationship
he likes you
aspect.
or not. Yeah, some guys will be doing all the sensual, tantric, everything. But he ain't. You're not his. He doesn't. That's just how he likes to have sex.
That's just his style of thing. Yeah.
Just because he decided to do missionary and he's looking in your eyes and he's telling you I love you doesn't mean.
I don't know about the telling you. I was about to say I mean that until you said that, telling you I love you.
But there's guys out there telling girls that they love them, but they don't.
I know.
And they might do. And
do
you know what's funny? They might actually do love the girl, but they don't want what the girl wants. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's.
I think the only confusing thing for me has been like, when it's really good, then you're kind of like, damn, because there's a magnetism there. You feel like held in a bit of a, well, gotta let this go.
It's peak. Oh, damn. That's what I'm saying. I've met some really nice, I've met some great guys that I've almost been like, no, it's all right for now. Just, nah, dummy. It's not going to serve you. I don't ever want to feel the pain that I felt with my ex, where it's like you've grown to really love this person and care for them, but you know that you know that this is going to end eventually. Just do it now. Just rip the Band-Aid off now.
Yeah.
That's a hard place to be. It's very difficult to walk away from something that you know that isn't right for you, but you genuinely love it. It's hard. So like now I'm like, listen, you could be the greatest guy ever, but if you start telling me, nah, I'm not really ready, anything that's telling me I'm not sure, I'm not ready.
Yeah,
about.
That's the thing. I think I don't think I've ever found it hard to break up with. I probably find it harder to stay in relationships. But I was digesting this literally this week. I was like, why am I like this? And I was trying to understand my like mental position over my first, can I call her serious girlfriend? I mean, we were young, but like she was my first like serious girlfriend. Like I was super like, I had a massive crush on this girl, and then we kind of started dating and stuff. And I realized that what happened to me, and what I'm thinking might happen to a lot of guys, is the first girl that like gives you your first heartbreak. I was trying to understand, why did it hurt me so much? Because like mashed me up, proper whole origin story, and it was not a long relationship at all. It wasn't. But I realized that the reason why the first heartbreak hurt so much, especially for guys, I'm assuming for everybody, but definitely for me, is because you're actually not dating the person at all. You're actually dating yourself. And you're like,
interesting.
Before you mature, before you become a man, you have a completely different understanding of what a woman is. And you make them out to be so much more than what people really are. People are just people. Okay. Some are male, some are female.
Yeah.
But you think, no, I'm a man and I know what I am. But I think I know what women are. And they're just innocent, effervescent, blah, 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 all of this kind of stuff. And then you find one that you're really attracted to. They present you just themselves. And then you apply all of that onto them. Because this is your first. You know what I mean? You've not been shown otherwise. So when that comes crashing down, it's not actually just a relationship. It's your whole understanding of what a woman actually is that also breaks at that moment in time. And I was like, that's why I've never actually loved someone like in that way again, because I've never applied anything. I've just loved whoever I'm seeing. Cool, that's who it is.
I don't know if parts of that does sound a bit like harbored bitterness towards that relationship. I'll come back. I'll explain why I'm saying that in a minute. But in terms of when I ask myself that same question, why did the first love hurt so bad? The first heartbreak, why was it so bad? Is because when I was with this person, I was a bit younger. The relationship started when I was quite young as well. So it's like I had never been in love before. I didn't have any experience. I hadn't experienced heartbreak before. To me, it was the most innocent, unadulterated, untampered, untainted love. There was no, I need to protect myself. There was no, it was free. It was very free. It's
just the whole thing.
There was no, they might be doing this to hurt me. Let me do this.
No,
there was no politics. There was nothing. It was the pure, I think it was like, in terms of romantic love, the purest type of romantic love, because you've got no lessons to apply. And so that first love felt like, wow. And I know I will never love like that again. Like it's never going to happen. Whoever I love next, there's going to be an element. Doesn't mean I would love them less. I might love them more. But there will be an element.
It'll be different.
There will be an element of measurement. Like, not measurement. Measurement's the wrong word. Boundary. There will be boundaries in there. In the first love, there's no boundaries. It's just, I love you so much. And you're so expressive.
It's a connection from,
Yeah, and then when
it's almost, I think that's the best way to describe it.
And then when you break up, it's like,
like, is that you, yeah?
It's like
my whole heart in that.
It's like my whole heart is done at it.
Literally.
Do you know what? And luckily for me, my first love, my first free, no boundaries, full heart, like everything, love was the love where I had to walk away from him, because the longer we stayed, the more we were hurting each other. And then the longer we stayed in it, the more we started to move away from serving the other person. We were now fighting for ourselves. And because we were fighting for ourselves, because we were so hurt, we weren't able to understand, truly open up and understand the other person's perspective, which meant comprehension and understanding and communication had broken down. And the point of that was they were coming from their stance of, this is what I want for myself, and you're trying to get me to move into something I'm not ready for. And I was coming from a stance of, why don't you want what I want? It makes sense. This is what I want. Am I not good enough? What can I? So we were just like this. And so it made sense to be like, I love you so much. And because we argue a lot right now, and because we both don't understand the other person right now, and we're fighting for ourselves, you might not see or even be able to comprehend that I actually do really love you, because you are my first great love, right? But I really love you. But I'm going to have to set that aside and walk away, because inevitably that's what's going to happen. Let me just do it now. And you might hate me for it, and he probably is walking around thinking that bitch, probably
Carol Baskin.
He's probably like, that girl was wicked. Like, she was horrible. He might be walking around thinking all sorts of things about me. But I know for me, and I got to a point where I was like, okay, your mental health is in the bin, yeah? Communication's in the bin. The relationship's not even enjoyable anymore. You still love this person, but it's not enjoyable anymore. And also, you're trying to compromise on something that matters so much to you, and that is what the problem is. And so you're going to have to let them go and have faith that this desire that you have in your heart is something you will get. It just won't be with this person. And then you have to just be prepared to let God deal with it, and the right person will come when they come. And it might not be for 20 years. I mean, God, please don't make me wait 20 years. It might not be for 20 years, but eventually you'll get what you desire. You shouldn't have to compromise on who you are, because wanting to be married is so integral to who I am. Wanting to be a mother and wanting to be a wife it's like the foundations of my being. Any of my friends that have known me for a long time, family members, they'll tell you that, Dami has always wanted, and there's been times when I'm like, I don't really want it no more. They'll just look at side eye, bombastic side eye. They're like, you're talking now, I could be single. You from small, that was what you wanted. So why compromise on something I've always wanted just for the sake of the person? So yeah, I had to let it go. But I tell you, it took me a very long time to accept the decision I made. There was guilt in there. There was, oh my God, I'm his first proper heartbreak as much as he's mine. And we all know guys can't handle heartbreak like we can. I don't think men can handle heartbreak the way women can.
I don't know how it goes for women, but I was not dealing very well.
I feel like women bounce back. We bounce because, I just feel like women, we do the work. Not to say men don't, but we really...
No, I think we do different work.
No, guys start doing... I'm going to start sleeping with anyone and everyone. I'm just going to try and have sex it out on me.
I'm clapping.
I'm clapping cheeks. Girls are like, I'm going to cry at the start. I'm going to let all the emotions out. I'm going to accept that this is my reality, and I'm going to build myself back up. So I don't know. We deal with things differently, but I had to deal with that guilt, and then I had to deal with, it's been years since we've broken up, and after a while, I wasn't dating after a while, and I was like, still not meeting the right person. I was like, did I just end a relationship with someone that could have been my husband because I was doing up? He's not, like, should I have waited? You start questioning yourself, and then it's a whole process, man. It's a whole process, but it was the hardest heartbreak, breakup, everything that I had to deal with. And it's another reason why, like, as a woman in my 30s, and we've had conversations about this before, about women when they're younger and them not taking relationships seriously, and then they get older and it gets harder, and those conversations do trigger me, because it's like I didn't choose to be in this predicament. It's actually not what I actually tried to be. I tried to do it the right. I tried to do it the right way. Like I was in a long-term relationship. Like I tried to settle down earlier. I didn't want to be the stereotypical single woman in her 30s and whatever. It's not like I was messing around. So when generalizations are made by men around like girls moving like Laurie Harvey, for example, where they're dating loads of guys and then when they get older, they're going to find it difficult. That's not always the case for some people. Some people really did try and it just wasn't meant to be. Do you know what I mean? So
no, I hear that. But the thing is that when men talk about it like that, I understand it. But also it speaks to our culture not facilitating the wants and needs of our people. Like our culture, as in the culture, this urban thing, is to be promiscuous. It is to chase ballers and baddies and da-da-da-da-da. No, but it doesn't suit anybody. It doesn't suit anybody. It only suits to continue to promote the same outcomes that we already have, which is single mothers, deadbeat dads, no family units, etc., etc. Like everyone's fighting for these things that our culture will not produce that. That's facts.
Yeah, the dating scene now is pretty much everyone's fighting for themselves. And like I said, just like in that relationship where because we were fighting for ourselves, we lost sight of serving the relationship and, you know, trying to be, not to be self-servient, that ruined our relationship. If you're dating with that mindset of, I need to protect myself, this is what I need to receive. It's not going to go anywhere.
This is what I need to get.
It's not going to, you have to be selfless. You have to be.
Yeah.
Love is a risk. Relationship is a risk. You have to be. And so many people are scared to do it. And I can't lie, as I'm saying it now, like...
It's scary.
Last year, you heard me. I was like, I ain't dating. And the reason why I wasn't dating is because I was scared. I was like, I don't want to open up myself. I don't want to ever feel that pain again. I don't want to open myself up. And it's I have to deal with that again because that nearly broke me. Like I was finished for a very long time. So it's like, I don't want to do that again. So you fall into, let me just give let me half-heart it. Like I'll date, but you're never gonna get. And when you date like that, if you date like that, you're never gonna get the full thing either because everyone's doing the same thing as you. So, and then when you start,
I don't know how.
It's tough.
My strategy is different, man, because I definitely obviously got my heartbreak, blah blah blah, and then you do the man thing, clap cheeks, and then you're like, yeah, man, I've got this. My confidence levels up, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, but I never held out on anybody that I dated after that point. I definitely always go hard in terms of my emotional input, but the difference is that I can always pull out at like any moment in time if needed.
But that's the thing.
The difference.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying hold out. I'm saying that.
No, but I mean, I feel that invested, but I can.
No, but it's that. But that's the problem because that's where I'm at. But I recognize it's a problem because I'm not being free. Do you see? So I don't think I will be able to experience if I keep doing that. I'm not going to be able to experience love as it's supposed to be experienced. And actually, what it's created in me is an emotionally unavailable woman who is very capable of being nurturing and caring and everything. Because I'm like that with my friends, I'm like that with my family. But when it comes to relationship, I'm just like, I'm gonna cap it. Definitely, so that I can do that. So I can be like, when I want. That means I was never really there. If I'm able to do that easily, I was never really there. And I'm doing that on purpose. So that's making me emotionally unavailable. But like I say every week, it seems like now, I'm working on it. Like, you know.
Working on it.
It's just got to be for the right person. That's all. It's just got to vet.
Yeah. And again, it becomes easier when you trust a person, like, as well.
Yeah. But
like in a holistic way, like in a deeper way.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't become questionable when you really, really trust someone. Like when it's not a conscious decision that you trust them, when it's actually like an innate trust.
Yeah, I hear that. where I'm at now is, and this could be an element of letting social media influence me, but I've lost faith that there are enough or a lot of people who have the mindset that I have. I feel like in terms of it being intentional and having self-control and not seeing the value or the point of casual anything and stuff like that. So I've lost faith that there are men that think that way, or that there are a lot of men that think that way. I feel like most of the guys that think that way are married, because they understood that that's what they want and they did that. They did exactly that. Especially at our age. Especially at our age, I think that's yeah. And that's why, when going back to our episode about women having been spoilt for choice, that's why I don't think that's necessarily true. Because I think there are loads of nice, great guys, but when it comes down to this, they might not be aligned in the way that I'm aligned, which means I don't have as much choice as it might appear the case to be. So, yeah, that's what I was trying to argue in that infamous
episode. I agree as well, and I think as well that that arguably men have more choice as well, because I think it's easier to change a woman from being, sorry, I got one kind of ping happening in my head, from being not the right one into the right one. So like if a woman's not necessarily ready, yeah, I think you can persuade, I think the right guy can persuade her to consider. But I think more so than the right girl can persuade a guy to be
I was that girl. Like, again, when I'm talking about when on reflection, you can probably see where you went wrong. In that relationship, I should have ended it way sooner than that, because I knew from a lot sooner than that, oh, now I'm trying to prove myself. And it's in that trying to prove yourself that I was being molded into accepting that I should wait and that I should try and come round to what he wanted, when actually I should have stood steadfast in what I want and been like, no, this isn't actually what I want. I'm doing this for you, and that's not right. Because I'm eventually going to resent you for it and be upset with you for it, which is eventually what happened, because I broke up with him. Do you see what I mean? So, yeah, women are a lot more malleable than what some men might think. I mean, going back to Aloni's thing, yeah, someone quote tweeted me and was like, but what if the guy said, yeah, I'll meet you at yours, but we're taking the bus? Then what would you say? And I think he was expecting me to say, nah, that's crazy, I can never get on the bus. I was like, listen, if a girl likes a man enough, she will get on that bus with him.
Oh, for sure.
If she likes him enough, she'll do it. I don't think that's the same case with guys. I think a guy can really like they can really like, I really like this girl, but I'm not there yet, so I'm not there yet. And that's that. Period. I really like you, but I'm not there. No, I agree. Do you know what I mean? I'm not there and I'm not there. A girl can be literally
on the plate. That's a wife. Like, just
and it's like,
do the thing, and the man's like, I'm not there yet.
Tunnel vision. This is where I want to be. And until I'm there, I'm not gonna. And that's it.
100%. I've had girls like that. There was a girl that was like on me like crazy, and it was just way early in the game, and I was like, I can't. And then she was I don't actually know if she was a virgin, but I do know that I was trying obviously to do naughty things with the girl, and she was like, look, because she was religious, her stipulation was that I had to at least be her boyfriend, and I was like, but these times I don't want a girlfriend, so like, I can't do that to you, innit? Like, I guess we're just gonna have to keep messing around how we're messing around, because.
And that's another thing.
A good girl, untampered,
and that's another thing.
Wonderful character.
That's another thing.
She should have been a lovely girlfriend.
That's another thing that I've learned. That's another thing that I've learned about guys and girls, is that the guy will be happy to stay in that situation. Like, you were like, cool, let's just, because guys are I think that guys are opportunists. I think that guys, yes, there's plenty of other girls that probably have just as nice bum and breasts as this girl, for example, yeah? But they want you as well. So they will stick around so they can have you as well as the others, innit? It's not, it sounds like I'm saying you're not special, but technically, it kind of is. Like, it's kind of like, I know other girls have this quality, but you have it, and I've been chasing you.
And I've decided
I want you as well, innit? So I'm going to stay and have you in whatever capacity you're willing to give. And some women, on the flip side, it's, oh, you know what? I do really like this guy, so I'm going to bend. Yeah. I'm going to bend
I don't
myself
try and bend girls,
bend what I want for now. That's the danger. But I've come to a point now where I'm like, I'm not going to do that anymore, because what it does is you're breaking your own heart as a woman. When you bend, you're breaking your own heart. And he didn't ask you to do that. My therapist taught me that. They never asked you to do that. You have to be strong within yourself to say, this isn't for me, so I'm going to walk away. People will always take what you give them. So the more time and effort I'm giving you, he's going to keep taking it. And then I can't be upset with him because he took what I gave. So I have to be like, okay, I know that you really like how I'm looking and how I make you feel. And I like how you're looking and how you make me feel. But ultimately, this isn't going to be good for me in the long run. So I got to walk away. It takes a lot of strength and wisdom and all of that to do that. But that's what you have to do, fundamentally. So, yeah, man. So it's a toughie. It's a tough one, living in this world as we have it now, being single in the dating scene that we have now, having a certain set of morals, values, and standards, because there's not a lot of people that have it, or they don't have it right now, or have it at the same time as you. And so it just means that it's going to be a rocky road.
It's going to be a rocky road, because there's no way back. It only gets worse.
Thanks. That makes me feel great.
Do you know why I say that? Because it's led, as I always say, the culture. It's led by the culture, and there's no like reset button to the culture, other than, which would obviously have happened like probably thousands of years ago, where like society spirals into degeneracy, and then everyone scraps, like, I don't know, like the government or whatever, and then it's just religious rule. You know what I mean? Like hardcore. If it's in the book, bam, that's where it is. If it's not, like, you know what I mean, the pun, and that's the only way to reset society, because there is no like strings to pull in any which way.
We're definitely heading towards Armageddon, 100%.
It has to, because there's no way to come back from.
Because we can't go back. Yeah, so we've got to literally
you can't revise it.
We have to self-destruct before building back up again.
Before you exactly.
And I've always said I wish I was born in an earlier time. I hate.
But then you'd be living in that context. I think you'd feel the same based on that's your norm. So then the problems are just different, but you respond to them in the same way, because that is the problem of the time, if you know what I mean.
I hear it.
It's like, remember when you was young and, like, I don't know, you couldn't, I don't know, reach the light bulb or reach the kitchen counter or something like that was some big problem because you couldn't reach it. And then now you can reach it, but you got other problems like.
Yeah, I mean? No. Yeah. I know. I'm just talking about I'm just talking about in the concept, in the
context of like what your values are based.
What my values are. My values don't suit the world that we live in today.
Shout outs time. This week we want to shout out Una Kimmons, who left us a lovely comment saying that we're doing a great job and to keep up the content. Thank you very much. Stay with us. Stay locked in, and it will be there. You done know, every week on a Monday, 6 p.m.
That's
we
right.
got you.
Got you. Thank you for encouraging us. It means a lot. And if you would like a shout out like Una, it's very easy. All you have to do is on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on our other platforms such as Spotify, like, follow the podcast, give us a 4 to 5. I allow you a 4, innit? But really give us a 5-star rating. And you could be next to be shouted out on the party. As you can see from the hair has puffed up. Before the curls were defined. Now it's doing poofy. That should tell you that.
Well, he was playing with it. And
now it was just, you know what, my hair, it's just like an expandable thing. Like it starts off all defined and then boom, it just, yeah. But the fact that my hair's gone poofy should tell you that we've been here for a very long time. And so it's time to yell.
Yeah, I've been here today. We've been here today.
You know what? Guys, I'm not even going to lie to you. I might have to start doing midweek. It's either I'm going to do a midweek episode because I'm going to start splitting these because they're so long. Or, because what we record, you don't see it all. Let me just tell you that for free. I cut it down when I edit, right? And I think I might start doing another episode in the week where I share the cut bits with you. We did start doing uncut bits before, but we took it off the table because it wasn't getting much traction. But I might bring it back. Or I might do like one day when we don't want to do it, where we can't, not say don't want to, but where we can't record, I might just clip all the bits that were unseen and make that one big. So you can see
unseen, unpicked.
Some of the crazy stuff that we choose not to put there because it...
Trying not to get cancelled this month, but next month
we're coming.
Only allowed to get cancelled once per month. All right.
Trust me. Cancelled and reinstated, resubscribed. What was I gonna say? The QR code to our Instagram is currently on the screen right here. So
yes,
you know what to do.
It's growing nicely.
You know what.
Join us there.
You know what to do. Yeah, man. Until next time, guys.
Until next time, it's a big peace.
Peace. Bless up and all that.
Whoop and done now.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What a day. What an episode.
Oh, I know. And I went gym as well yesterday, man.
Did
for
you?
The first time in like this year, actually.
Well done.
Yeah.
No, I've been
first time since my honeymoon.
Well done. Because do you know what? I've been going gym 4 times a week. I went 4 times this week, and I remember when I went back to the gym, I actually thought of you. I was like, I thought Venom was on this journey. What happened to that?